Welcome to GameF8 News, where the fate of gaming rests on these shoulders. EA are flying the white flag with two of their mobile games. Apex Legends Mobile and Battlefield Mobile will stop receiving updates, effectively killing the games. EA have been on a roll recently, with the Dead Space remake attracting positive reviews, and Jedi Fallen Order almost removing the bad taste in our mouths from Battlefront 2. I said almost. EA has also pushed the release date to Star Wars Jedi Survivor from mid-March to April 28th, citing a need to hit Respawn's quality bar. It's not yet known what drinks are served at this bar, but we assume the music is jazz. Drama worthy of a top-end rom-com played out on Twitter yesterday, as sources for the PSVR 2 story were discredited by Sony. We reported on Sony apparently slashing expectations of sales of the PSVR 2 by a half to only 1 million, but Sony reached out to a number of outlets saying, No, we have not cut PlayStation VR 2 production numbers and are seeing enthusiasm with our PlayStation fans for the upcoming launch. Of course, enthusiasm isn't a quantifiable thing. If you're asked for your income when applying for a mortgage and you say you have a lot of enthusiasm, I doubt you'd get any finance offers. Tom Warren on Twitter pointed out that halving forecast for the PSVR 2 shipments isn't the same as cutting PSVR 2 production numbers, so Sony isn't fully denying the Bloomberg report. Sony will no doubt be working overtime to ensure the PSVR 2 isn't seen as a failure before it releases, but I can't help feel that this is a parallel to how Microsoft treated the Xbox Kinect. The device was supposed to be a niche thing that was successful. As soon as they treated it as a mass market item, it was never going to succeed. It's like growing a seed in a pot. Give it love and it shall grow. Hang on, this is plastic. Xbox has finally done the thing we all knew they were going to do. They have raised the prices of their consoles in Japan. VGC quoted them saying it was a difficult decision to make, but the $44 increase in a country they barely sold any consoles may be Microsoft's attempt to be testing the water and seeing how the market reacts, but without much risk. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has already stated that they've held back the prices up to Christmas, unlike PlayStation, who raised the prices almost everywhere except the US. We are in unique times where early adopters of these consoles are actually receiving better value. I would highly recommend that anyone sitting on the fence whether to pick up a Series console, do it now before Xbox rolls out these increases worldwide. And if you pick up an Xbox now, you might even get some games to play on it this year. Ayo! Shots fired! Cyberpunk 2077 has now added DLSS 3 to its PC offering. The game was a dumpster fire on release with poor performance and stability. CD Projekt Red had to even pull the game from the PlayStation Store, and the service holds such gems as Donut Run, Donut Break, Double Donut Break, Hamburger Run, St. Patrick's Run, and Christmas Run. In fact, Sony took longer to pull Press X for Trophies, which was a game that included its instruction manual in its title. The devs and publisher have been hard at work ever since, polishing the game to make it look at least acceptable. By all accounts, they've reached that bar, and DLSS 3 could possibly make it a great title by boosting frames substantially, giving even mid-range cards a chance to boost settings. Fans of Zelda will be excited to find out that one of its classic games has been decompiled to work natively on the PC. Do you know Zelda's the Princess? Programmer Xander Haj has worked his way through 80,000 lines of code and translated them into C, which is the language that can be used natively on PCs. It's not quite finished, still relying on an emulator to hold its hand in places, but when it is, it might create unlimited possibilities. Widescreen, new pixel shaders, quality of life features, and even modern controls will all be on the table. We've seen this happen with Super Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time, with the unpiled code treated like raw meat for the hungry modders scuttling around the internet. Just like a hospital, expect patience with this going forward. Microsoft have been waggling their finger on overdrive, denying that the Halo franchise has been removed from 343 Industries, doubling down their faith in the studio. After removing 95 employees, rumoured moves to switch the engine to Unreal, and much of the remaining team replaced, is it a different studio now, just with a different name? I mean, is a mop that's had 17 new heads and 14 new handles still the same broom? I'm sure Microsoft doesn't care as long as the next Halo doesn't repeat the embarrassing launch of the last one, where the trailer was so poor they had to delay the game a year and it was still broken on release. Maybe they should rename Halo to goodbye. Xbox 360, which I refuse to call retro, has shared sad news that most of its good games are getting removed from the console's marketplace. Titles include Blue Dragon, Breakdown, Daytona USA, Jet Set Radio, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Lost Odyssey, Skate 2, The Orange Box, and The Witcher 2. Tweeter Wario64 reminds player that Aegis Wing is actually a free game which you just need to claim before Microsoft cuts the games on February the 7th. This doesn't give us long to give the big MR money, but games that are also on the Xbox One store will remain there for now. More casualties of the digital era. Fans of Resident Evil will be no doubt looking forward to the 4th iteration's remake dropping on the 24th of March. Game Informer got the scoop on revealing more details about the title, and it seems that Capcom can do no wrong at the moment. The game will include multiple new enemies and side quests, a new crossbow, and the game will finally allow you to carry multiple knives. You start from the outside. Sadly, QuickTime events are gone, which will be disappointing to players who finally learnt where the buttons are on their controller. Quick! Press the like before the zombie eats my head! Why didn't you press the like button? All in all, it seems like it was a much more faithful remake than the second and third remakes, with some scenes being one-to-one, although I'm assuming the GameCube introduction has been cut. I mean, they said it would never go anywhere else, and they continue to lie. Capcom 5 is dead to me. And something that's also dead is GameF8 news. Dead good, that is. See us again tomorrow and every tomorrow unless the today is Friday, because I rest on weekends. See you or not then.